Get comfortable, coming into a comfortable seat at the top of our mat, grounding down into the earth, into your mat, into yourself. Really arriving here in your environment, in your practice. Taking a big, deep breath in all the way down to the bottom of your tummy. And that might be the first big, deep breath that you've taken today. And it probably feels really good. On the exhale, let your shoulders drop away from your ears. On the inhale, lengthening your neck and the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Almost envisioning with every inhale, this lengthening of space happening in between each vertebrae of your spine, of your neck. And give yourself a little scan from head to toe, taking note of all the little places inside of you where you might be holding on to stress, tension, pain, and things that no longer serve you. On your next big inhale, send the oxygen into those places inside of you that need it the most. Let's inhale both arms up into the air, palms facing each other. Hold just for a moment. Let those shoulders drop away from the ears, gazing up at the space in between your hands. Palms come together. Exhale through center. Inhale up. Exhale through. One more. Inhale up. Exhale through. This one's different. We're going to inhale up. And on the exhale, bring that right hand to the left knee, left arm behind us. Twisting open, keeping the spine long and straight, gazing over that left shoulder. I like to put the back of my right hand against my knee, which I feel sort of assists a little bit with the twist if I lengthen my arm. I don't know if that works for everybody or if that's just a me thing. Let's inhale, rise, bring it up tall, and we'll do the other side, bringing that left hand to the right knee, right arm behind, twisting open, long, tall spine, twisting from the shoulders, twisting from the core. What does that mean, twisting from the shoulders? You want to keep those shoulders in line with each other. Because your spine is long and straight, you don't have one higher or lower than the other. Inhale, both arms up into the air. Exhale, bring it down through center. Let those shoulders drop away from your ears. All right. Well, let's come onto our hands and our knees and start waking up the spine. If you like to use a pillow underneath your knees, just to help with a little bit of padding, a little bit of extra support. Palms flat, fingers spread out wide, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale, looking up at the ceiling, lifting from the chest, pressing that belly button down into the earth. Exhale, tucking the chin, arching the spine, pressing down through the shoulders and the palms of your hands. Inhale, looking up at the ceiling, lifting from the chest. Exhale, tucking your chin, arching your spine, pulling your shoulder blades away from your neck. And bringing it back into center. We'll do a little shoulders. Let's bring the right arm up into the air, rotate the wrist and wiggle the fingers. Exhale, thread the needle, dropping your shoulder down on the mat and the weight of your body down on your shoulder. Hips are stacked over your knees, palm facing up. Option to pick up the left hand and bring it around your back. You can rest your hand on the small of your back, stacking that left shoulder on top of the right, twisting the chest open towards the ceiling. Such a beautiful shoulder stretch. Let's unwind, bringing that left hand back down, pressing through. Right hand comes all the way up. Rotate the wrist and wiggle the fingers back down into neutral. Other side. Left arm comes up into the air. Rotate the wrist and wiggle the fingers. Exhale, thread the needle. Dropping that shoulder down on the earth and the weight of your body down on that shoulder. Palm facing up. And you can stay right here. Or if you want to take it just a little bit further, you might lift up that right hand, resting it on the small of your back, stacking the right shoulder on top of the left. Let's take 2 more breaths. Such a good shoulder stretch. All that computer work, driving. And bringing the right hand back down to your mat, pressing down into the earth. Left arm comes up, reset. Rotate the wrist and wiggle the fingers, bringing it all back down into center. And let's pick up the right leg and send it out behind us. Point those toes, and we're going to give it a little pulse. We'll do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping the toes down onto the floor. Inhale fully, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, pressing through the heels, shifting back, stretching out that calf muscle. Beautiful. Hi, Rapture. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Take a big deep breath. Exhale, pushing through the heel one more time. And on the inhale, bring it back forward, shoulders over wrists. And we're gonna pick up that right leg and bring it all the way around to the right side of our body. Excuse me. And drop it down onto the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, dropping the right arm down your right thigh, reaching over with the left. Side bend. This is a gate pose. Inhale, rise, bring it back up tall, and we're going to come right back down to the floor. Sitting back on your heels like you're coming into child's pose, keeping that right foot as flat as you can. If it doesn't want to stay down onto the mat, that's okay, but something to work towards. Drop your chest, drop your shoulders, and the closer that you drop your chest and shoulders, the more intensity you're going to feel on your inner thigh. So pay attention to your body. When you reach that point where it's like, no more, that's it, that's my limit, you're going to pull back just enough that it's no longer uncomfortable. And that's the perfect pose for your body. Let's inhale back up to center, bringing it back to our tabletop. Knee comes in, and we'll do the other side. Left leg comes out, pointing those toes. We're going to give it a little pulse, slowly with control. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping the toes. Those pulses are really good for your lower back. Shoulders over your wrists. Big full breath in. Exhale, pushing through the heel. Really feel it in your calf. Inhale, back up to center, shoulders over wrists. Full breath in, exhale, pushing back through the heel. Let's bring it back into center, and we're gonna pick up that left leg, swing it all the way around so that your foot is in line with your right knee. Foot flat on the floor, inhale to rise, bring it up tall. Dropping the left hand down your left thigh, reaching over with the right. Okay, this cat is like on her back with all of her little paws up in the air, and there's nothing cuter in the world than a cat with her paws in the air. Oh, rapture. Let's inhale, rise, bring it up tall. Exhale, down to the earth. Dropping your booty back on your heels like you're coming into child's pose. Keeping that left foot flat on the earth, or as flat as you feel comfortable at least. Dropping your chest, dropping your shoulders until you find that place where your body says that's enough. And then pull it back 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters. You should always be able to take a deep breath. You should always, in any posture, be able to comfortably inhale fully and exhale fully. And if you can't comfortably do that, you're just a little bit too far into a posture for your body. Today, maybe you could do it yesterday, maybe today's a little bit different because of whatever circumstances. Let's inhale, rise, bring it back up, and we're coming back into the neutral tabletop. Tucking the toes behind, lifting the hips just a little bit up off the mat, about 2 inches. And we're gonna open those knees about mat width apart, bringing the big toes together behind us, creating a triangle shape. Inhale fully. Exhale, sitting back on the heels, wide-legged child's pose. Let those hips sink down to the heels. Let your chest and your forehead sink down to the mat. Shoulders drop. One more breath. Now, if this was a yin class, we would be here for about 2 minutes. And there's a lot of gentle opening that can happen in 2 minutes. Let's ground down into the palms, pull ourselves back up, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, sending them up and back, downward facing dog. Grounding down through the thumb and the forefinger, bending your knees, working out those hamstrings. Big full breath. Let the muscles in your neck and your head relax. Pressing your chest towards your thighs. And the more that you press your chest towards your thighs, the more you'll have to ground down into your thumb and your forefingers. Let's look up at the hands and step or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale halfway, long straight spine. Exhale to the earth, moving with your breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring it down through center. Shoulders drop, let it go. All right. Let's inhale, rise, bring it up tall. Grabbing onto the right wrist with your left thumb and forefinger. And we're gonna send the hips over to the right as we pull that right arm over to the left, creating a crescent shape with our bodies, a little half moon. Let's inhale, rise, bring it up tall, and we'll shift it over to the other side, grabbing onto that left wrist with our right thumb and forefinger. Send the hips over to the left. And we are pulling that left arm over with the right. Crescent moon. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale all the way through, shoulders drop. All right, time to flow. Let's do a sun salutation and maybe we'll keep some sunbeams with us today. I don't know though. Inhale, rise, bring it up. Exhale all the way down to the earth. Inhale halfway, long straight spine. Exhale, hands flat, stepping or jumping back into plank. Holding your plank just for one breath. Elbows tucked in close to your body, lowering all the way down to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pressing down through your palms, backs of your feet pressed against the mat, thighs lifted, looking straight ahead. Tucking your toes, lifting your hips, sending them up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a moment, pedal out the feet, pressing your chest towards your thighs, and gently working on those hamstrings. So tight, which is a cultural thing. Like generally, you know, we're all really, really, really tight in the hamstrings. You know, that's why it's so hard to get up and down off the floor or sit comfortably cross-legged for, you know, more than 5 minutes. Let's look up at the hands. Step or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale halfway, moving with your breath. Exhale down to the earth. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring it down through center. All right. Let's take a big step back with the right foot. Turning that right foot out behind us at a 45-degree angle, toes pointed away from the mat. Bending that left knee over the left ankle. And with your hands on your hip bones, turning towards the front of your mat so that those hip bones are in line with the two front corners of your mat. Beautiful. Inhale, rise. Hands come up into the air. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Bending deeply into that front knee and grounding down through the outside edge of that right foot behind us. Little tiny back bend, just kind of lifting from the chest. One more breath. And on that inhale, let's open it up. Right arm comes back, right foot flips open, finding that heel to arch alignment in our feet. Warrior two, let those shoulders drop away from the ears. Can you bend more deeply into that front leg? Almost making the front thigh parallel with the mat underneath you. Feel the weight distribution in your feet. Is it even? Let's drop the right arm to the right knee, palm facing up. Left arm, no, this is the left. Left arm to the left knee, palm facing up. Woo! Right arm sweeps down, fingertips brushing the mat. Side angle, using that core energy to hold the weight of your body on your knee. Option to drop that left hand, back of your hand to the inside of your ankle, like you're coming into a triangle. Except this time your left knee is bent. Let's straighten out that leg and bring it into triangle. I wasn't planning that, it just worked out that way. It's a kind of a good one though. Looking down at your foot, finding your balance, inhale to rise. Let's open it up to the long edge of the mat. Take a breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Bring it on down. Coming into your favorite variation of the fold, toes pointing forward, side of your foot parallel with the side of the mat. You might have your palms flat, arm bones stacked, gazing down at the space in between your hands. Maybe come down on your forearms. Wherever you choose to be, we're here for about 3 breaths. Full and deep. One more breath. And let's inhale to rise. And we're going to do that little flow on the other side, turning around to the back of your mat. This time you should have your right foot forward, left foot behind you, toes pointed out. Kick that left hip out behind you a little bit. Bending deeply into that right knee. Hands come onto your hip bones, and we're turning towards the front of our mat. Hips lined up with the corners of our mat. Inhale, rise. Bring it up tall. Shoulders drop away from your ears. Bending deeply into that right knee. Let's take one more breath. And on your next inhale, left arm comes behind, left foot opens up, finding that heel to arch alignment. Make any adjustments in your stance. Shoulders drop away from your ears. Feel that weight distribution in your feet. Is it even? Is your left foot doing the same amount of work as your right foot? Now, we're going to drop the right elbow down to the right knee, palm facing up. Left arm sweeps down, fingertips brushing the mat, side angle. Now, sending your awareness down into this right arm, we're going to drop it down to the earth inside of your hand, up against the inside of your right ankle. Left arm goes up into the air. Straightening out that right leg transforms your side angle into a Trikonasana. Maybe gazing up at that hand if that's available to you. And looking down at the foot, finding your balance, inhale to rise. Turning back towards the long edge of your mat, we'll add the shoulders in this time. Now, if you have your belt or your strap handy, you might grab onto it behind you, right? Holding onto your, and which will help open up your shoulders a little bit. If you don't have a belt or a strap, just clasping your hands behind you, same expression of the pose. A little more. Big full breath. How does it feel on the inhale versus the exhale? Again, this is another really uncomfortable pose for most. And why? Because our shoulders are so tight. Let's release, let it go. Inhale to rise. Turning back towards the front of the mat, big step forward. Reset. Pointing the toes out towards the corners of the mat. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, squat it down low. Making any little adjustments in your feet to help you find a little bit more balance and comfort and ease. That kind of rhymed, and I didn't do that on purpose, but it was a good one. One more breath, and we'll drop the booty down onto the earth. Bringing the feet together in front of us, sole to sole. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Give your toes a little wiggle. We don't spend enough time down here with them. Inhale to rise. So bring it back up tall. And let's bring the feet out in a big V. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. And I really love this one. This is exactly the same as the standing forward, the standing wide-legged forward fold that we just did. The only difference with this one is that gravity is just hitting us from a different angle. So you might find more or less success with this forward fold versus the one that we did on our feet. And you can also do this one on your back, which is kind of cool. You know, our bodies are such interesting machines. They're very picky how they function some days. Let's inhale to rise, bring it back up tall, and crossing the legs in front of us. Dropping the right ear to the right shoulder, opening up on the left side. We'll let that left shoulder drop down away from your ear. Now that we've had some opportunity to invite all of that breath into our bodies, and we've sent our awareness down into all of the different parts, our feet, our knees, our hips, our arms. And now it's time to pay attention to the little teeny tiny muscles that cause us so much discomfort throughout the day. Our shoulders, our necks, our upper backs. And let's pick up the right arm and reaching across the chest to that left shoulder and give it a little squeeze, a little love, a little tug, which can make a really big difference in your day. Let's bring it all back into center. Roll those shoulders back and down. And we'll do the other side, dropping that left ear to the left shoulder. Opening up on the right side. Let the right shoulder drop down so heavy. You know the drill, moving your chin around a little bit, and then you find that spot and you go, ooh, there it is right there. Yeah, that's the spot. Reaching across your chest with that left hand, if you haven't already, and giving that shoulder a little squish, a little squeeze. Find those spots. And gently release, let everything go. Last but not least, let's gaze over the right shoulder. Take a big full breath in. Exhale, dropping your shoulders, tucking your chin, rolling down across the chest. And coming up the other side. Take a moment, take a breath. And on the exhale, tucking the chin, dropping the shoulders, and rolling back across the chest. And coming up the other side. Coming back into center, give those shoulders a roll. Inhale, both arms up into the air. And on the exhale, bring it down through center. At the end of class, we find ourselves right where we started, back at the beginning. And these are the cycles of our week, of our practice, of the seasons. Welcome, fall, and everything in between. Blessed be. Until next week. And